Right, good evening and welcome to another episode of Her Journey, where the H.E.R stands for Healing, Evolving, and Redefining Women. And we are excited today. We've had many women on the podcast with us, and we have yet another amazing young lady on the podcast with us, and we're excited to have her talk about her company, what they do. I've known her, that can I say, all your life for a very, very long time. So almost like a daughter type. No, I've known her very long. So she's a beautiful young lady, beautiful mom. And so a friend of mine suggested I reach out to her. And I was like, yes, she sent me the website. And I said, we have to have her on. I think she's our youngest guest.
Yeah.
Yep, she's our youngest guest. So, awesome. So we're excited to get started. I'm gonna let her introduce herself and tell us a little bit about herself and her company. But I will say I got an opportunity to go on the website and look at some of the amazing things that this company, this outreach, um, and the community is doing. And I think it's just so, so awesome. And people need to know that they're out there, that the service exists. And it's right here in Massachusetts. So if somebody needs assistance or something, they can know that this exists. So I'm going to let her introduce herself. Tell me a little bit about I'm going to call it company, community outreach, how it got started, and what you guys do. Yeah.
Okay, sure. Thank you guys for having me. My name is LaNette, and I am the operations manager for Propa City Community Outreach. We started in 2011 when Stephanie Crawford, she's our founder, her son was stillborn at 39 weeks. His name is Simeon Jailani, and February 7th will actually be his anniversary date. Um,
Oh,
And so, really, what happened was she's pretty much like a sister to me, my best
mhm,
friend. And at, after her loss, she said, we really need to do something to help people
mhm.
because this is crazy.
Yeah.
And so, a few years before that, I had had a loss. And so I kind of understood what she was talking about.
Hmm.
And I jumped right on it and said, like, yeah, whatever you want, whatever you need, like,
Yeah.
let's do it. And
Yeah.
so it kind of started in a small little room in the midst of her grief.
Yeah.
And just two people saying, like, we need to help people so that this doesn't happen to other people, or I won't say happen because it will happen, but that they don't have to suffer in silence or suffer alone
Yes.
because loss and pregnancy loss can be a really lonely place,
Mhm.
a place where people kind of just don't know what to say to you, or
Yeah.
people say the wrong things to you.
Yeah.
People just say, well, at least you can have another baby, or
Hmm.
at least you're young, or you
Hmm.
can just try again, or
Yeah.
you should be over this by now. And so we
Yeah.
really didn't want that for
Yeah.
another mom, another person, another birthing person to go
Yeah.
through that. And so that's how Propa City Community Outreach came about. We focus on healing from pregnancy and infant loss, but we do realize that loss affects everybody. So, kind of healing
Yes.
from loss in a positive way.
Hmm.
And so we're kind of doing education, advocacy. We do support groups. Um, and we have a group of moms who've gone through the program who are
Yeah.
now mentoring moms. And so they are paving the way and being a light for
Nice.
new moms that are coming after us, to let them know that, healing is possible.
Yeah.
It looks different for everybody, but
Mhm.
yet it can happen,
Mhm.
and it can happen in a positive way.
Yeah.
And so we try to just teach that and just be a light
Yeah.
um, for
That's
people.
so awesome. I mean, to think that, sometimes in our pain, our purpose is kind of hidden in there,
Right.
and that she had the wherewith to think, and you guys had the wherewith to think, like, there has to be other moms that's going through this, or other people, and so let's do something about it. And
Yeah.
so I think that's so amazing. It's unfortunate that the loss had to happen, but out of it, birth this whole organization. Yeah. And that's amazing that I didn't even know this. exists. Where are you guys located in Mass?
So our office is in Roxbury right now. But we like to say we're mobile, so
Okay.
we go where the need is.
Oh, that's good.
So whoever needs us, if anybody needs us, we'll go there.
Okay.
We meet in person, we do Zoom, phone
Okay.
calls, and really about needs based. We want to meet the needs of the people. And if you
Okay.
think about it, if you're having a loss, sometimes you can't physically pull yourself up out to go anywhere
Yes.
to show up. And so
Yeah.
we try to show up where we can.
Mhm.
That's awesome. Like, they will even come to you. So that's awesome. So what, I guess my question is when you guys get someone who calls in and, has had a loss and so like, is there a certain protocol that you do? Is there an outline to the healing or it's just kind of basically kind of figuring out what they need and providing support?
Yeah, so I'll say it's a little bit of both.
Okay.
When we either someone reaches out to us or we get referrals, the
Yeah.
first thing we do is send a healing um, toolkit, was what we like to call it.
Nice.
And so every person who's had a loss, even if it's multiple losses, we send a healing toolkit. And it's kind of made up from things that we used ourselves on our
Okay.
healing journeys and
Yeah.
found to be effective. And so it's
Nice.
kind of the things that we use to teach healing
Yeah.
from loss. So everybody gets a bear, kind of
Oh,
like a remembrance angel bear.
yeah.
Um, yeah. And
That's
then there's
nice.
like a coloring book, notebook, some
Yeah.
information just on like to give to support people to let them know what you might need, what they can say
Yeah.
that's helpful information,
Okay.
and just helpful tips on coping with loss and things that you can do
Yeah.
while you're on your healing journey. So that's pretty much the very beginning. You get a healing toolkit, you get a
Yeah.
note from our founder.
Mhm.
She usually handwrites every single note to the
Oh,
person,
wow. That's so
which
awesome.
is very sweet.
Yeah.
Personalization.
So
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
And then after that, we kind of set up, a talk and
Mhm.
we decide like, what is the need? What do you need in this moment?
Yeah.
And we invite them to support groups. Some people are ready, some people are not.
Yeah.
I think that what we try to do is you can come as you are. You don't have to say anything because sometimes
Okay.
you just want to listen. Sometimes you just want to
Yeah.
be in space. But
Yeah.
we try to create an atmosphere that feels comfortable and welcoming to everybody so that they can
Mhm.
find the healing they need in whichever way works for
Yeah.
them. So I
Definitely.
guess it's kind of self
Yeah.
led in terms of
Yeah.
what a person needs for their own healing, but
Yeah.
we do have things in place that we kind of follow as well. So
Yeah. I mean, I love that this exists,
yeah,
Yeah.
because a lot of times people do have this experience in silence and they
yeah,
don't talk about it,
yeah,
and they don't even know like the next you could be sitting next to someone who's experienced it, but it's just, especially for people that look like us, like,
right,
so we kind of keep that to ourselves and we don't talk about that, but to know there's a space and
yeah,
people willing to help you go process this.
yeah.
I mean, I just love this idea. Do you have any thoughts, Cassandra, as she's
Well, I
talking?
wanted to know, how did you come up with the name?
So Propa City Community Outreach, pretty much we laugh about this all the time, but it was kind of like from high school, Stephanie had this group, and so they were like Propa was part of their name. And
Oh,
then
okay.
she was gonna be doing promotions and she just wanted to put something together. So it was Propa City Promotions. And then she's like, well, that's not gonna work. And so it just came out to be Propa City Community Outreach. And
Oh,
so it's worked for us, but it
Yeah.
wasn't
it
like
was a plan.
right. It just evolved. It's like we got to make an organization. Let's call it
Yeah,
Right,
this.
right. I think that's wonderful.
that's
It's
awesome.
it's just so important that we reach out to other people that have gone through it, and you hear about it in, you hear about it in like Hollywood and stuff like that, but to see it on this level
Yeah.
is so important,
Yeah.
and that we reach out to one another, and
Hmm.
that it's right here in our own community, and that it's, like you said, somebody sitting right next to you, maybe going through the
Yeah.
same thing,
Yeah.
that we reach out to one another. And I have to applaud you on that. I think that
Yes, I
that's
love
really
this.
wonderful.
Thank you so
And I
much.
like that you've gotten, you're at least in one hospital, and hopefully will be able to get you into some other ones because
Yes.
it's so needed.
Yeah.
It is absolutely very much needed.
Mhm.
I'm on a group at Beth Israel also, and for their ICU, I took magazines. They were old, but I took magazines because all the magazines you see in the ICU waiting room are not geared for us.
Oh,
So it's so important that we reach out for our community. You know, I took like Ebony and Essence, and people were like, somebody said to me, "Oh, I didn't know you all had that."
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, we have magazines that reach out to us. And so
yeah.
I just think that is so important that
Yeah.
we reach out to one another. And
Mhm.
you're a young person, and I just
I
have to
love it.
realize that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, have you guys ever thought about going into like churches and letting them know that you guys do this? Because I think that would be huge because there are probably women in there that experience it and maybe or don't want to share or you know what I mean. But I think this is so good you can't keep it to yourself.
Yeah.
Actually, we try to be anywhere and everywhere.
Yeah.
I think one of the challenges we did come up with is that we don't charge for our services. And so for a long time, it was really hard to get into hospitals because they're like, what?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so getting the buy-in from just one person is very
Yes.
helpful
Yeah.
so that we can get this information out to everybody because we don't
Yeah.
charge anything for
Yeah.
So how do
anything.
you guys fund this? Like you guys fund it out of your
Writing
own
So
pockets?
in the beginning, it was funded out of our own pockets, out of
Okay.
a place of love. So
Love,
everything that we
yeah.
do is centered around love. And
Yeah.
so it didn't matter the cost. We
Yeah.
believe strongly in what we were doing and
Right.
what we wanted
Yeah,
to do.
absolutely.
And so we funded it ourselves. But in the last few years, we have been really, really, really blessed to get some grants.
That's
Um,
awesome.
yeah, so people are seeing the value in our work.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
so that's been amazing. And also just support from family and friends donating
Yeah.
and helping out when we're
Yeah.
asking and
Yeah.
they'll give. But yes, we've been very, very blessed this in the last few years to get major funding. So
That's so awesome. I mean, it's such an amazing service, and you guys do it for free. Like that shows the love and the compassion, and like you really doing this from a place of your heart and not for any type of gain or recognition, but really, really wanting to help women. I think I don't know. We got to bring some light to this. Like
Yes.
this is a good hidden secret that needs to not be a secret. I think it needs more exposure because there are definitely some women that could benefit from it. So
Right. Because
it's
I know for me and my or our age group, we never really talked about it. Like it's
yeah,
not something that you talk about.
yeah.
But
And
it's
sometimes
so
we weren't
much
even
needed.
sure we had one. We're like, I think I had a miscarriage. You know what I
Right.
mean?
yeah,
Like
yeah.
I'm not sure.
It's so different as the generations go, but it's also like the postpartum, like nobody talks about it, but it
Right.
needs to be discussed.
Yes.
And that you need to open up that hole, you know what I
Yeah.
mean, to reach people. That is so much needed.
Yes,
Um,
absolutely, absolutely.
I-
So if someone was interested, they would just go to your site and I saw like a contact, they could fill out information on the site and that's how you guys contact them.
Yes. Yeah, they can contact us through the website. The phone number on there goes directly to our founder. So
Okay,
we're
Wow.
real people doing this work,
real work.
real work.
Yes,
So
That
yeah.
is
that
so.
is
And
amazing.
so do you guys, this is something this is like your passion, your baby, your thing that you love, but you guys also do corporate
Many
jobs?
yes, many other things.
She said
Many
many
other
other things.
things.
Yes, we
People
wear
would be
many
very
hats.
surprised at how we do it, but I'm like, I think grace of God.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
And so this is
Yeah.
just one of the things. Like for myself, I'm retired from my corporate job. So
Wait,
I'm
how you
Retired?
wait, hold on.
I know. I'm like, wait.
that's
What
what the
does that even
paperwork
mean?
says.
You
The
retired,
paperwork
girl.
says retired. So I am like I would say a stay-at-home mom-ish because I just do other things like
Okay.
Propa City. And I have recently found myself doing like end of life care.
Oh,
For some
okay.
people.
You
So
really have a heart for people.
I
Yeah.
do,
Yeah.
I do. And then also I'm an event planner. And so
Okay.
Yeah, so it's
Yes.
many other
You
things,
wear
You wear
many
many
hats.
hats.
many other hats.
Girl.
And our founder, she is also a kindergarten teacher.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, on top of we do the event planning together.
Yep.
She's a
Nice.
doula as well. And so
Oh, nice.
and when I
Well,
tell you
well,
we do a lot of things we do, and
yeah, and they
somehow,
all like around servicing people, providing a
Yes,
service. So
yes,
that's awesome.
that is
yeah,
really
Yeah, so you retired from corporate America, but you are not retired.
exactly.
You are a working mom
Working,
in
yes.
so many other areas. That's
Yes.
so awesome. And
Thank
to
you.
be so young to have that insightfulness about just really bringing a light to this issue and
Yeah.
really, caring for other people. I think that's so amazing. I think I just want to give you guys a round of applause.
Thank you.
And
That's the end of life. It's just wonderful.
yeah,
Wonderful.
definitely. That takes a special person
Yeah.
to do that type of work. So definitely, you guys should be very proud of yourself. And you guys have been doing this since 2011. So
Wow.
that's a long time.
That is
It's
a
been a
long
long
time.
time. And it
Yes.
was a slow start, but I think when God purposes you to do something, you
Yeah.
stick to it and
Yes.
just keep
Yes.
going. And now more people know about us, and
Yes.
hopefully more and more people
Yeah,
will
I love that
continue.
because even with the slow start, like you guys stay consistent,
Yes.
didn't give up. Sometimes people be like, oh, after 3, 4 years, like,
Yeah.
but you kept going. And
Yeah.
so now look at it, it's starting to get recognition, you're starting to get grants. So
Yeah.
that's just due to your faithfulness
Yes.
and just continuing to do it, and so that's even encouraging for us doing this podcast.
Yeah.
Yes.
We celebrated 1 year.
Yes, yeah.
It's like,
Congratulations.
you
Keep
know,
going.
Thank you.
yeah, because some days we was just like, oh, the technical part isn't right, the volume. I said, press go. We're
Yes.
gonna go and self-correct as we go because I believe there's power in women telling their stories,
Yes.
just like what you guys are doing. And so when we do that, we give other people permission to tell their story and
Yes.
to light their candle and not be afraid or ashamed. This has nothing to do with shame.
Right.
And nothing to do, because sometimes women also blame themselves when this happens.
Right.
Like, oh, I did something wrong, my body, they blame their body. So so just to get them out of their head,
Yes. Yeah.
like to know this is not your fault,
Yeah.
and so I think that's so awesome that you guys are
Yeah.
doing.
Thank
And I
you.
think I saw on the site too, you guys do something like for teens.
We do, yes.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, we do a lot of things.
Yes.
But we have a wonderful group of young people. We call them our youth board.
Okay.
And we kind of teach them to advocate in their own communities and in their own areas, to teach people about loss and how they can handle it. Because the loss really affects all of us. It's not just,
It does.
and so we teach them to advocate for it. And then we also host a family day in June usually, and they kind of run that whole thing, and really just getting community together and resources so that people that there are resources out there.
Nice.
So yeah, that's
you guys need to be in schools, churches.
well, we are in some schools.
Okay, that's
we
good.
were in a few schools.
Nice.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
teaching all of this as well.
I think that's wonderful.
This is so awesome.
Bring our young people out, you know what I
Mhm.
mean? Because it almost feels like we kind of lost that.
Yeah.
But bringing it back, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
bringing it back to the youth people,
Yeah.
because you feel like you kind of lost that with, our generation, and we had all the marches and stuff, and then it just kind of fell off. And so I think this is so wonderful. It is so wonderful to help bring our young people, because they have to have a purpose and
Right.
give them, because they can do a lot.
Mhm.
They
Yeah.
really can do a lot.
I agree.
So it's awesome. So I mean, I'm excited. I'd be like, we're done. No. It's so good. It's so good. I was just like, wow. I was looking at the site today, and I've been on it a couple times. I just keep looking at it. I'm like, this is so good.
Yeah.
This is so good. So congratulations. You guys keep going. And God's hand is on it, and He's blessing it. He's going to continue to bless it. And the more exposure you guys get, it's going to just get better and better. And to think that it started from your girlfriend's experience that she had, and she could have took that experience and just went through it alone and
Right.
just got through it, and nobody would have ever known except for the people that were close to her.
Right.
But God pricked her heart and be like, no,
Something else.
this will not, nothing I've been through has been wasted. So this will
Right.
not be. So now she has a whole organization, and then here you come along, having had an experience similar. And it's like, wow, you guys are destined to be doing this together.
Yes.
So
Yes.
that's so good. That's so good. So see, that was easy, right? Nervous? No reason to be
No
nervous.
reason to be nervous.
So I know you saw the questions, and we don't ask them robotically because we want it to feel like a conversation.
All
But
right.
like, what would you say your definition of success is? I mean, I'm sorry, before I do that, did you want to say anything else about the organization? Like, so what's if somebody needs to get in contact with you, or someone, you or somebody in the organization, like what's the website? We just want to say it out loud, and a phone number if somebody wants to get in contact.
Sure. The website is www.propacityco.org. And
Can you
if
spell
you go
Propa
there,
for
all
me?
the information will be there.
Spell that out for us.
Oh, it's PROPACITYCO.org.
Okay. All right. Then we can
And if
find
you go there,
everything.
you can find all the information to
Okay.
contact us. And like I said, it
Wow.
goes right to our founder, and
Nice.
we'll respond directly.
Okay. That's beautiful. Direct response.
That's amazing.
Yeah, real people.
Yeah.
Real people doing real work.
Not AI responding.
Yeah.
Hello. Real people. Yes, exactly.
Especially these days.
I know, right? So, what would you say your definition of success is?
Okay. I think living in alignment with your values, like fulfilling your purpose and making meaningful impacts on other people's lives.
Yeah.
But also like finding balance in your relationships and in your career, and also just being intentional and finding joy and maintaining your integrity. So
I think that's a beautiful answer. And so I would say you're successful.
I would say so.
Most definitely.
Thank you.
I would say you are successful. And I definitely think you know the answer to this one, but do you know your purpose?
Do I know my
And
purpose?
what is it? Yes.
I mean, I think I do. And really what I think my purpose is pretty much living on purpose. I have this hashtag that I say all the time. It's she lives on purpose. And I thought at one point that it would be a brand for myself. But what I realize is that my life is kind of the brand, right? And so it's like how I live, how I show up in front of people, how I treat other people. That is the brand. That's me living on purpose. And so it kind of is woven into like me caring for other people and nurturing them and creating those spaces of healing and rest. It's in my words and my interactions with other people, my empathy and my compassion and my reliability as well. And so that's kind of what I think about when I think of like what my purpose is.
Yeah, no, that's so good. That's so good. And sometimes we ask the question and people overanalyze it. It's not serious, or they think it has to be something camera-like action, somebody has to see them doing it and all. And I'm like, no, it can be the most simplest thing. I still think about when we asked Kim Oldham this question. It's my favorite response so far. And she was like, you know that song that says, if I can help somebody along the way, then my living will not be in vain. She goes, that's my purpose. I was like, that is the most simplest but powerful answer at the same time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so I feel like you have the heart of a servant leader.
I do.
You are, helping other people, and that's a whole purpose. So you are definitely successful
Thank
and you are
you.
living on purpose, young lady.
I
So
have
that is
a
so
funny story about that. I used
good.
to I used to almost hate it, right? Because I'm like, why would Jesus make me like Martha? Like, why am I like always doing?
Yep.
I don't know. Within the last few years, I've kind of really leaned into it that I'm a
Yeah.
servant
Yeah.
and it's
Mhm.
I get to do that for people.
Yeah.
And it fills me up in a way that I
Yeah.
think if I were doing anything else, it wouldn't.
Yeah.
Um, and so it's a beautiful
Yes.
thing to be a
Yeah.
servant because you can serve while also leading, right? And
Yes. That's
I
yeah.
think
That's why I said a servant leader.
yes.
Yes.
I
And
see
so
that in you. I see it in
Mhm.
how you're responding and the integrity
Yeah.
of who you are. I
Yeah.
see it in you. Like
thank you.
it's you just exude that. And
Mhm.
I just appreciate that. But I see that in you and I
Yeah.
see the love and what you do.
Yeah.
It's just amazing to see you in that,
Mhm.
you
Thank you.
know.
Yes, yes. And be proud of the fact that you found that and
Yeah.
you can identify with that and you know it. And I love that you said, that purpose is like, what did you say? She lives on purpose?
Yes.
But you was like, you are the brand for that. You don't
Yes.
need to brand that. How you live your life, how you move, your integrity, your character. That
Yes.
is how she lives on purpose.
Yeah.
And so people get to see that, you know what I mean? And so you show up authentically yourself, you show up relatable, you show up vulnerable, so you attract people because they can see your vulnerability, but they
Yeah.
also can see you're relatable, but they see your compassion. So they know that you're the real deal and that you're
Yes.
not just out here saying stuff to be saying it.
Yeah.
And people can tell that. So I love the fact that you are the brand for She
Mhm.
Lives on Purpose. That's
That
so
you.
powerful. That's
that
so
is
Thank you.
good.
amazing.
That's great insight.
Yeah.
So that's awesome.
I
Awesome.
like that.
Awesome. So if you were to thinking of these questions, if I were to ask you, I am, what would you say? I am blank.
I would first start with I am a child of God
Yeah.
and
Yes.
that I am who he says I am.
Yes.
I would probably say that I'm resilient,
Yep.
resourceful,
Mm-hmm.
very intentional. Um,
Yes. That's good.
I'm here to
Yeah.
serve, I'm here to uplift, I'm here
Yeah.
to empower. I am living on purpose. I am a
Yes.
mother, I'm a
Amen.
daughter, I'm a sister, I'm a friend.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. So, I mean, you can jump in with a question too. I'm just kind of asking them. Um, so when you hear the words healing, evolving, and redefining, what do you think about when you hear those words? Like,
Um, I think I hear like transformative, I hear like
mhm,
empowering, I
yeah,
hear renewal.
yeah.
Um, I'm trying to think.
No, that's good. No,
Growth,
those are
I hear
good.
growth is like one of
Yeah,
the things
Yes.
too.
yeah.
And then I think also intentionality, because
Hmm.
you have to really be intentional about healing, evolving, and
Yes,
redefining
Yes.
yourself in all those ways. Um,
yeah.
yeah,
No.
so
That's good. That's good
Yeah.
because I
Yeah.
think a lot of times people, they want to be healed, but they don't want to do the work.
right. And it takes work.
Yes, and it does take work. And as you do the work and start healing yourself, then you start to evolve, right? And then you start to redefine, you start reevaluating that old way of thinking and taking on
Yeah,
a new way of thinking. So, a lot of people sometimes they want that healed part, but they
they
don't.
want to put the work in.
Why we gotta do work? Why we gotta do
Yeah.
Right.
work? And so they show up in their unhealed, with their
Mhm.
unhealed self, and then they wonder why they are where they are. And it's like you haven't done the work that's necessary so you can make decisions from the healed version.
Right.
Because I guarantee you, if you make decisions from the healed version, it will not look like the decisions you make from the unhealed version, right? So
Yes.
we can't be afraid of the work. I know sometimes that's painful and nobody wants to relive that. But as my daughter always said, you gotta go through it to get
Hmm.
to the other
Get to the
side.
other side.
Very
And on
true.
the other side, it's going to be rewarding, and
Yeah.
you will be glad that you did that. And then you can reach back and grab the hand of somebody else and help
Yeah.
them heal, because now you're talking from experience.
Right.
So you can't tell somebody else how to heal if you're not willing to go through the necessary, necessary work to heal yourself.
Right.
It's true.
So, when I thought about these words, when I was like, okay, God, when he gave me H.E.R, her, I was just like, what does that mean? Like, give me the letters. And then those three words came to me, and I was just like, okay, this
Right.
definitely is a journey. Healing, evolving is a journey. And I think that we go from one journey to the, like I told someone, I will never arrive. I will always be on some type of journey.
Always.
Yeah.
And when you
Always.
think that you have arrived, and that,
If
no,
something else happens.
yes. You'd be like, okay, can I get a break?
Yeah.
Can I woosah? But yes, so I think you answered. So,
I want to know if I know now blank about myself, like
what do you know now about
About
yourself
yourself
that
that
you
you didn't
probably
know?
felt like
Yeah.
you didn't know
you know,
5 years ago, 2 years ago, a month
Years
ago,
ago.
or whatever?
I think that I would say that I know it sounds a little cliche, but literally I can do anything that I set my mind to.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
and that but it's because of faith and the faith that I
Yes.
have that's
Yeah.
carrying me to make
yes.
those changes that I need to
Yeah.
do and make
Yeah.
that difference in my life.
Yeah.
So I now know that I have big faith
Yes. That's good. That's good.
that I can rely on God. So I will say that.
Yeah,
I
that's
also
good.
I feel like the kids say this. I don't know if I'm a kid anymore, but like God, God did his big one with me.
Yep.
But I say that because when I think about like all the gifts and the talents and the blessings that he's given to me,
Yeah.
it's like only God can
Yes.
do that. And I feel like he made me good.
Yes.
And I love that. I love that
Yeah.
he thought enough of me to do that,
Yeah.
so that I can share it with the world. And so
Yeah.
Oh, I
that's
love
what
That's
I
so
know.
good. Your mama's gonna be so proud when she sees that.
Yes. It sure is.
Because too,
Yeah,
you gotta think about the seed that was planted
Right.
in you from a child
Yes.
growing up, and you have just watered it. You
yeah,
know, God gives the increase, but you have been faithful with that seed that now become a plant, and now it's budded, and now it's become a tree, and now it has roots. So it's
Right.
rooted and planted. And so now you have your own personal relationship
right,
with God. So you get to talk to him as a big girl for yourself.
right. And it's like before I used to think, God, you don't even listen to me. Like
I
this
know.
is years ago, I'm like, you don't even listen to me. But
Yeah.
now, like as I go and I'm seeing things and I'm doing things, I'm like, oh, he really is, and
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
really cares about me, and he really gave me some good things, and I'm
Yeah.
hoping that I'm stewarding them well, and
Yes.
I'm
Yes.
Yeah.
giving them back out how he gave them to me.
Yeah. I think you're doing pretty good stewarding.
Yeah, I think
You
you're
are
doing
doing
pretty
pretty
good.
good. What do you do for self-care? We like to, we are so busy being moms, nurturers, carers, we're doing stuff for everyone else, but it's also important for us to take the time to care for ourselves. And I always say self-care is not selfish. And I also like to use the analogy they use on planes, like put the mask on yourself first before you go try to put it on somebody else. So what things do you do to fill your self-care cup?
Um, so I think that this is kind of ever evolving.
Okay.
Um, and I think that what I've learned to understand is that for different seasons of my life,
Yeah.
I need different things and different ways to care for myself.
Mhm.
And so I'm not always the best at it, although I
Yeah.
teach it. And
It's okay.
I do often need reminders, but I think that what I've been trying to do is be present, like be present
Mhm.
in the moments
Yeah.
to see and be here,
Yeah.
not thinking
Yeah.
about what I need to do
Yeah.
like
When you get
next
off of
week,
this
tomorrow,
podcast.
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
And then just trying to really stay connected to what my purpose is, and also resting. I think
Yeah.
that there's so many different forms of rest,
Mhm.
um, and so God kind of took me on a journey of rest, and so I did a
Nice.
lot of learning, studying, and
Yeah.
really understanding rest from
Yeah.
physical, a mental, a spiritual
Oh,
standpoint.
yes.
Yeah,
And
that's
so
good.
in realizing that depending on the situations I'm in life, my
Yeah.
rest is going to look different.
Mm-hmm.
And so
That's
I
good.
guess I'm recharging by learning and
Yeah.
growing.
Yeah.
I'm also just, holding space for meaningful conversations, like the conversation we're having with each other
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
Because we grow when we, are in
Yeah.
communion with other
Mm-hmm.
people in
Yeah.
community. And
Yeah.
so having those impactful conversations, also like
Yeah.
being with my friends and
Mm-hmm.
my children, they want me to say that. Fill my cup. Although I'm like, you deplete me, but also just seeing my children, like sometimes I'm
Yes.
just like, I'm filled up by seeing you.
Yeah.
But then also just trying to find balance, right? It's hard to
Yes.
find it, but finding
It
that
is.
balance to know when I can give and when I can just stop and just
Yes.
Yeah.
pause and just
Mm-hmm.
say, I
Yeah.
need to take time for myself. I need to spend quiet time with God.
Yeah.
Yes. That's
And
really
and
important.
also knowing that allowing myself to kind of receive the love and the care that I freely give to everybody all
Yeah.
day, every day.
Yeah.
And knowing that I don't have to really earn self-care, like self-care
Yes.
is afforded to me just
Yeah.
because.
Yeah.
That's a good one. I like that.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Yeah, absolutely. And so it is important. I love that you kind of summarize it in that way too. So, because we are always giving, but like you just said, like even learning how to receive it, because sometimes we are the giver of it, but when somebody's trying to give it to us, we don't even know how to receive it. And it's like,
Yeah.
whew, we're learning, what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, relax, it's gonna be okay. Like, let me do this for you. Like, no, I'm the one
Yeah.
that's doing. So learning how self-care is also learning how to receive it. I like that because we
Allow
always,
someone to give you a compliment.
yeah, and somebody gives you oh, this whole thing,
I know,
thank
yeah.
you.
Thank you.
It's
I like
true.
it here. I always, oh, this ain't even new. Be like,
Yeah.
thank you. Just learning how to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So so I think self-care is also a journey, that we, like you said, in different seasons, it can look differently, there's sometimes I'm learning how to rest too sometimes. So I'm always going.
Mhm.
Sometimes on Saturdays, I'm like, nope, this is my day.
Yep.
I might watch a Netflix and just whatever, watch, something that has some episodes.
Yeah.
I'll be
Yeah.
like, today I'm just gonna watch this or
Yeah.
whatever, go for a walk or read or
Yeah.
whatever, but listen to music. But it's important to have that time and also to set boundaries for yourself too.
Which is so
Yes,
That was
boundaries.
I'm learning that one. I like to say like no, it's a complete sentence. So
Oh, the
I'm learning
boundaries.
how to say I can't do that, and not feeling guilty by
right.
saying it. I'm like, no, I can't do that because it's okay. Sometimes
Mhm.
people need to know, not today,
Yeah.
or sometimes I've even looked at my phone and I'd be like, "Oop, I can't." And I'll
Yeah.
talk to you another time. No, I can't right now
Yeah.
because I know what that energy. I was like, I can't give that type of energy right now to this
Yeah.
conversation.
Yeah.
So you know what? I might have to let you go to voicemail.
Yes.
So true.
I'll catch
It's
you next
true
time.
though.
Nothing
Thank
personal, but
you.
because if you're not in a good energy space or you're not ready, you don't want to come off like short or like,
Yeah.
not authentic. So I'm like, I'm not in a good space for this right now. So
But you
we'll,
Yeah.
also know
we'll talk later.
sometimes some people
I'm
automatically
gonna
think
drain you.
they're going to
Yes.
drain you. That
Yeah.
boundary, that they're
So I'm
going
like,
to
I
drain you
can't
and
do
take
you right
away
now,
from
but
it. And so that's a boundary that
yeah,
we have to set
no, that's
sometimes
It's
because
true.
there's always something.
Yes.
always
I
a fire
agree.
alarm going
Yeah,
off.
Yes. Yes. I
Not
agree.
now. So
yeah.
that's self-care. When you look at that and say, you know what, nope, not today.
Yeah.
So that is good.
What do you think what would you tell the little girl in you right
What would the grown
now? The
woman,
grown, yeah, there you go.
what would your grown woman say to the little girl?
I don't know if you noticed our logo.
Yes,
And a
I
lot
did.
of this, we have to heal the little girl in us at
Yeah.
times.
Yes. Yeah, I feel like I would say like a lot of things to her. Um,
Just give us one.
just one.
No, you can give more. I'm only
Oh, okay.
kidding.
I'm like, let me think, what can I pull out the best? I would say keep your confidence.
Mhm.
Um, continue to shine your light. Don't let anybody dim it. Um,
Yes.
with what they think about you, what they say about you.
Yeah.
Um, I would also say that your voice matters and
Yeah,
you
that's
should
good.
speak up.
Mhm.
Don't be quiet because
Mhm.
you think you're supposed to just be
Oh,
quiet
yeah.
and not
Mhm.
say anything.
Yeah.
Um, and that you're enough. Like just
Yeah.
as you are, just as
Yeah.
you are
Just
enough.
as you are.
Yeah.
And
That's all good.
yeah, you're gonna be who you're supposed to be.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. A lot of times we, feel like we sometimes lose our voice because we feel like we can't speak up, or someone's gonna say, oh, that's, why'd you say that, or that's disrespectful, or what. And I mean, you speak up in a respectful way, but sometimes when people don't want to hear something, they automatically start to say that's disrespectful because they
Right.
don't even want to receive what you're saying.
Mhm.
But and not dimming your light.
Yes.
Because sometimes people want you to dim their light because they're afraid to shine theirs. And
Yeah.
so they want you to put a shade over the like when you come around them, be like, take this, no, this is who I
Yeah.
am. And if that person doesn't receive you, then they're not a fit. That friendship wasn't meant to be, or that relationship wasn't meant to be. But and I think that's a learning process, right?
Yeah.
That we have to like get that confidence that we feel like we can show up authentically, and if people don't receive us, it's not our fault. It's
Not
not
our-
something we done, because we start then looking, well, there must be something wrong with me.
yeah.
We start to look inwardly, and sometimes no, it's not. This is who I am, and there's somebody out there that's going to appreciate who I am and what I have to offer, and so you don't have to be afraid to do that.
Yeah.
So that's really, really good. Um, what impact, which I think you're already doing, that's why I'm gonna ask it anyway. What impact or fingerprint would you like to leave on the earth? Like, what would you like to be known for on this earth?
On sir. I guess that I was kind,
Hmm.
that I cared, that I operated from a place of love,
Yeah.
um, and that I lived on purpose. That's
Yes.
pretty much it.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's so good. That is so good.
Yeah.
Um,
Just
go ahead.
no, I was just saying, just about to say that I just love talking to her.
Yep.
It's just, I think the last time I saw you, you were teeny
A
tiny.
little.
It's been a minute, but I just love talk to you, just the
Thank
person
you.
that you are right now.
Yes, who you
It's,
have
Appreciate it.
evolved into
yes, to this
becoming.
beautiful flower.
Thank you.
You're just amazing.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's awesome. It's awesome. What would you say love is?
Oh, many things. I'm like,
Yes,
it's
it
really many
is.
things too.
Yeah,
I would say that love is needed and it's necessary.
yeah,
Um, I would say that sometimes we make our choices based off of not having love or based off having love. And so
yeah.
it kind
That's so
of
true.
changes the outcomes of things.
Yes.
And you have it or you don't have it. So it's
Yeah,
needed and it's necessary. I also think that love is a commitment
yeah.
and that it's also an action word. Um,
Yes.
I think
Yes,
that
absolutely.
it shows up in moments when we care about others.
Hmm.
I think love shows up in our willingness to give and not
Yeah.
expect anything in return. Um,
Yes. That part.
I, I also think that it's a choice. Like you can choose to give love or you can choose not to.
Yes,
I try to choose
So
to give
true.
love.
Yeah.
Um, and that it's kind of the basis for everything I believe in.
Hmm.
And when people see me, I want them to see love, like the love I have
yes,
for them,
yes.
the love I have for myself, the love I have for
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, I think
That's
that's it.
very well said.
Yeah.
Very well said. There's no even comments to say about that after
No,
that.
no.
Definitely, definitely. Um, if I asked you to describe yourself, could you give me like 3 to 4 words to describe you?
To describe me,
Yes.
an introvert.
Really?
Are
Yes,
you?
I am. I
Okay.
really am.
Okay.
I'm an introvert.
Okay.
I am caring,
Yeah.
kind, patient.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So you're introvert. I'm gonna go back to that first one.
Yes.
But when necessary, you can come out of that shell and be an
Yeah.
Yes.
extrovert, and then you go back to being an introvert after.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's kind of funny because I have a lot to say, I think, but I'm
Yeah.
really
Yes.
shy. I'm very
Oh,
shy.
okay.
And
Yeah.
so,
Okay.
like, I would prefer to make things happen on the background.
Okay.
Yes.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Behind the scenes.
behind the scenes, like, I
Yeah.
love that. But my team really pushes me not to
In
do that.
front. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so I
Yeah.
am becoming more, I guess, of an extrovert.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but
Mm-hmm.
I get nervous. I'm like, I don't really want to talk to people, but I do have a lot to say, and I'm like full of like, stuff I
Yes.
want to
Yes.
share, but also like I'm shy, so I don't know. So that's what
Yeah.
I would say.
And so I think
I'm an
it's
introvert.
interesting that you love working behind the scenes, but your team is pushing you forward because you do have,
A lot to
I don't
say.
even want to say a lot to say. You have good stuff to say because
Mhm.
anybody can have a lot to say, but you have,
Really good stuff.
it's relevant, it's
Yeah.
needed, it's necessary. Somebody needs to hear what you're saying. So you can't keep that to yourself. So God is like, okay, you want to be back here, but well, I'm gonna slowly, we're gonna push you forward.
Yeah.
And so, when you start to do that, just allow God to let that happen for
Yeah.
you. You know what I mean? And be like, okay,
Yeah.
God, after this class, now I'm going back to being an introvert. But I'm gonna be an extrovert right now because I think you have a voice that people would want to hear, right? So, because I'm listening to you talk here,
Mhm.
and it's captivating and it's and meaningful. Like
Yes.
what you're saying, like, like I haven't seen you in such a long time. So I'm so proud of
Yes.
who you are becoming as a woman, who you have become, who you've evolved to become.
Evolving, continuing to, because I'm sitting here going, oh, wow.
Yeah, like so mature.
Yes.
And know your purpose. I love that, God is a part of the equation.
Yeah.
Like all the things, you know what I'm saying?
And
So
before you speak, you think about what it is and how you say it.
yeah.
That's what I'm getting. And
Yeah.
I just love that. Like you are thoughtful in what it is that you're saying, and that compassion and
Yeah,
that
it
love
comes out when
and
you
that
talk.
comes out when you talk.
Yeah.
And I'm just in awe, honestly, like from the little girl. I remember you being so shy and kind of
Yeah.
quiet,
Yeah.
but what you're saying right now is just so powerful and it's so meaningful. It really is. And I'm just so proud of the young woman that you've become and
Yeah.
are continuing to become.
Yeah,
Thank you
absolutely.
so
And
much.
I love that too because it's often a lot of times the quiet ones
Mm.
who have the most to say. But they they have let me rephrase that. It's the quiet ones that people don't expect to have some, but when they open their mouth and start talking, they're like, oh,
Quiet storm.
you got all that in you.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And so I have been guilty of being in the room because I'm not gonna say I'm an introvert because I'm not. But why are you making faces? I ain't get nothing. But I can be in the room and I don't have to be the loudest person in the room. I could be sitting quietly or talking to the person I'm talking to and listening to what's happening. And then if someone asks me to speak, then I speak. And then people are like, wow, okay. Because you know what it is though? I feel like because you are confident in who you are. So you don't have to be the loudest voice in the room.
Right.
But when you are given the mic to speak, everybody pays attention.
Yeah.
Because sometimes the loudest one in the room, when they're giving the mic, people are like, oh, here she go again. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, oh, what's she about to say now? But it's that quietness that people underestimate
Right.
you
Yeah.
because of your quietness. but you have something to say, you know what I mean? And so it comes out when you talk. So don't necessarily change that. Keep them guessing.
Yeah.
But you know, when the opportunity comes, take the platform and speak, you know, and people are gonna be like, wow, okay. I didn't know she had all that in her. And I love how you say, because I got something to say. No, you do. You do have something to say, but people just underestimate sometimes because you carry that quiet demeanor. But that's how God wired you. That's how he wired you. And you know, but you definitely have that heart of compassion. And when you speak, you can hear it. So it comes across authentically.
Thank you.
So yes, but I think our last question, see, wasn't this easy?
Yes,
It wasn't
thank
hard.
you.
You did very, very well. If you were to title this season of your life, do you have a title for the season of your life? Like, what would you call this chapter of your life?
Um, Up until a few weeks ago, I was saying living life on my own terms.
Mm-hmm.
But now I'm like, I'm not really sure. I think maybe growing and flowing with grace.
Oh,
Um,
nice. I love that.
yeah,
Yes,
that
that's a
just came
good one.
up, like, yeah, I think growing and flowing with grace. Um,
Yes, absolutely. That's
yeah, I'm
beautiful.
just, yeah,
Yeah, that's a great title.
That is a great title.
That is a great title.
That reflects who you are, and I
Yeah.
see that in you.
Mm-hmm.
I see that in you. I really
Mhm.
do. And all that you've said right here, I see that in you. And
Yeah.
you're open
Yeah.
to growing in grace.
Yeah.
yeah,
I see that, I hear that
Yeah.
in you
yeah,
in all that you've said,
Yes.
that growing in grace. That's just so beautiful.
And I love that you said growing,
Mhm.
which is a continual process, right?
Yeah.
So you are open to the process of to continue to
Yes.
grow, to learn, to self-develop. And
yes,
so that's beautiful. You're not closed off to that. You
Yeah.
know what I
yes,
mean? So I think that's and flowing in grace. I love that. Growing and flowing in grace because God's grace is so awesome and
Yes,
we
it
didn't do
is.
anything to deserve it, but yet
Right.
he extended grace to us.
It's grace to
So
us.
we should extend grace to other people, you know, as well. So I love that. I love that I love what your organization is doing.
Yes.
Yeah. Definitely. If I know somebody, I'm gonna be like, oh, I know who you need to talk to spread the word. And that's what
Yeah.
we need to do, help each other because we're all called to something different.
Mhm.
So I'll be like, I'm not good at that, but I know who you can contact or
yeah,
you know, so and that's how we network and we help each other grow and spread goodness. You know what I
Yes.
mean? And so not be jealous or envious because
Yes.
no, I can't. That's not my field. That's not my
Mhm.
call. That's not my gifting. But here's two ladies
Yeah.
that can assist you. And so and together we build the kingdom of God by doing that. That's kingdom work.
That's
Yeah.
what
You know,
kingdom
it doesn't always have to be, I'd be like the church without walls. Like
Yes.
yeah, it's
it
true.
does not have to be in the four
In
walls.
those four walls.
There's so many people that you're reaching that may never even come into a building.
Right.
Yeah,
So it's, you know, so we got to think outside of the four walls when we think about and what you and tell me the young lady's name because I don't want to say your
Stephanie.
name. Stephanie, what you guys are doing is ministry.
Yes, it is.
That is ministry, helping people heal their hurt and their pain and dealing with it. That is a form of ministry. So God smiles down on this organization. And I pray that more grants come and you guys get into more hospitals, more
Yes.
schools. Some churches need to invite you.
Yes.
Same
It's
here.
like doctors
And
without
just
borders. I mean,
yes.
that church without walls, you
Yeah.
know, to
Mhm.
reach out to everything and others. It's just so imperative.
Yeah.
And I love that you have a heart for that.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, that neither one of you balled up in a ball and just said, I'm just going through this, but you're reaching out to others.
Yeah.
And
And
that's
that's
just
for
beautiful.
free. Like you
Yeah.
guys can, this is a service you could be charging for.
Yeah.
But you guys are doing it from your heart and God's just
From
gonna
your heart.
give you double blessings for it and all of that richness and goodness because you guys are serving serving people.
Yeah.
And so that is a beautiful thing. I don't know if you had any parting words.
No, I just am so excited for her. I'm so glad to have had an opportunity to speak with you.
Yes.
Like I said, I haven't seen you in so long, but I'm just
Yeah.
so proud of the young woman that you've become. And I'm just like,
Thank
oh my
you.
goodness.
Thank you.
Exactly.
So I'm just so thankful that you came on to be one of our guests.
Yes.
Proud of you. Thank you so much.
Yes, absolutely. I was checking to see if we missed the question.
Did you? I'm open to answer
I
more.
think we did good. You know what? We did miss one. It was, who is your biggest influencer or cheerleader in life and why? And that can change from time to time depending on the season that you're in. But who
Yeah.
would you say some of your cheerleaders are?
Um, o- Obviously my mom. Like, I think she's
Yes.
amazing
See, I
person.
needed to ask this. We had to get mom in here. See,
I really do. I think she's just
yeah,
amazing.
yeah,
I think
she's
she raised
awesome.
me well. She did the best
Yeah,
she could, and
mhm,
I appreciate her because I wouldn't be here without her, right?
yeah,
Um, and I also would say my children,
yeah,
and I say that because they're like a mirror of me, and so
mhm,
they remind me when I need to get it together, like, you
yeah,
know what I mean? But they also
yeah,
cheer me on. They help
yeah,
me, like when
yes,
I'm doing work in the community,
yeah.
they're like right by my side saying, "Mom, you can do
Oh,
this," or
that's
they're helping me
awesome.
set up for events and things like that.
Oh, that's
And they
awesome.
just push me to show up differently.
Yeah.
They make me to pull out my patience,
Yes.
but
Okay,
in a good
well,
way, right?
yeah, yes,
Um,
absolutely.
and they also don't give me any mercy in terms of like if I've done something wrong, they're like, "Mom," and they allow me to come to them and correct my wrongs and have
Oh, that's
conversations.
awesome.
And so it just encourages me to think beyond just I'm your mom,
Yes.
but
Yeah.
also
That's
I'm also an example that I'm living before
yes.
you. And when you're seeing me do something that might not be like the mom you know, they're not afraid to say that and help me
That's
change and
good.
correct who I
Mm-hmm.
am. So they never let me forget.
That's good. And that means that you have role modeled to them that it's okay, you could talk to me. You know,
Yeah.
because a lot of kids would be afraid to be like, I can't say that. But to have that open communication and they feel like, oh, I can self-correct mom and you know, and with respect.
Yes.
And she's gonna be like, she's gonna listen. She's not gonna be like, oh, you're the child, stay in the child's place. So that's beautiful that you're teaching them that. So as they get older, when they get into, you know, when things happen in their life, they're gonna feel like, I'm gonna go tell my mom, like I can tell my mom anything and
Yeah.
it's gonna be okay. Even though I used to say that with my kids, but I used to laugh like, but inside I'm like probably turning purple and I'm like,
Yes, yes.
okay, trying not to show any facial.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like your mom, or she just said, but you know, on the outside, I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
talk about it.
Yeah.
So that's so awesome that you're setting that example for them that they can come to you because some kids will go to their friends and go, you know, but they know, okay, we can go to mom and, you know, we're gonna be okay. So that's a beautiful thing that you are teaching them. And how old are the girls now?
Oh my gosh. So Soleil's 16.
She's
Soraya is, I know, right? Soraya
wow.
is 13, and my son Desire is 8.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's right. I did
Yeah.
have a boy that third time around. Oh my
Yes.
goodness. I can't believe 16.
Yes.
Wow, that's awesome. I remember they're all babies. Now
I
16.
know.
God, so awesome. Awesome. Well, we're gonna give you back to them because they be like, okay, mom, you've been on talking for an hour.
Yes.
But we are again, thank you so much. I will let you know when this will come out. We do a lot of recording, and then we put them out 2 per month, and then they go for like 14 days. So we have like one person ahead of you that we did the other night, but I will send you the link and let you know. It's gone. Yeah, it's fine. It's gone live. So look out for that. And make sure you share it with all
I
your
will.
friends
I
and
will
your
share it.
mom.
Yes.
All right,
Thank you
blessings
for
to
making
you.
it easy for me. I was so
Oh,
nervous.
you are
I'm
so
like,
welcome. You were easy to talk to.
Yes,
So
very
it
easy.
was perfect. All
thank
right, you have a good rest of the
you
evening.
as
Love
well.
you.
Thank you so much. Love you.
All right, bye bye.